Again, my name is Elmira. This is MBLEX Strategy Reset. Just a little tidbit of why I'm hosting this class. I've been a massage therapist for many years. I was able to pass the test on my first try. And in talking to colleagues, talking to students, talking to massage therapists along the way, I have discovered it's really not the material that messes us up. Why we got to keep retaking the test, or even if it's our first time taking the test. We often know the material, but it's the stuff playing in the background that leads to the failures. And I've seen it time and time again. I've actually been teaching one on one for almost 2 years now, and this is the consistent pattern I see with my students. So I'm just going to go over some things because I love being of service. So I was like, I got to share with the people because I don't see anybody else teaching this. A lot of people are teaching, oh, review this, review that. That's actually not what you need. So this is the class here. So first thing, you have to identify the root. Why, number one, why do you want this test or why do you want to pass? Always go back to your vision. And when I say identify the root, why do you keep failing? One of the things you just said, Ella, is second guessing. Once you know what
Mhm.
the issue is, we should be working on not second guessing, going with your first instinct. Practice, practice, practice that one thing. For some students, it may be a confidence issue. You have to, hi, welcome. I hope I'm saying your name right. Nine or Nine. Looks like Nine. But we're just on the first slide here. Identify the root. If it's a confidence issue, we need to build your confidence in every area. I actually have one of my students right now, I'm working with her on mirror work because her mom didn't make her feel confident. She has to do stuff about saying, I can pass the test, I can pass the test. It's all kinds of stuff playing in the background because here's the thing, we are massage therapists. Part of our role in what we do, we want to identify the root of the pain. Am I correct? You all can raise your hand or put a yes in the chat. You like massaging people because you want to help them with their pain.
Mhm.
Yeah, so why would you not do the same thing with the test? Identify the root. What's the root cause of you being afraid to take the test for the first time or you continuing to fail? You have to go back and assess. And here's another tip. Don't just only rely on your own assessment because you have blind spots. A lot of times we'll take the test or do anything. It's not just this MBLEX. We'll do it 3 times. Why do I keep messing up? Why do I keep? You didn't get any help. Did you get help from teacher? Did you get help from your parents? Did you get help from a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or whoever, a friend, an advisor? They can see things that you can't see. I remember this was me. I'm very independent. But I was often afraid to ask for help. But it was when I started hiring coaches and hiring people to assist me with my business, with my massage therapy, I became better and better and better because we got to know what the root is before we can fix it. Because for one student, it could be the testing anxiety. For somebody else, I had many students who English is their second language. That's the root. So if they're not even understanding the words, why am I trying to teach them pathology? They need to learn how to translate and understand what some of these words mean in their native tongue and in English. So that is my first tip. Identify the root. What is your problem? Because I encourage you in this class tonight, take notes because something's going to click. You're going to be like, I never heard it that way before. Write it down because you may not know fully what it means today, but when you go back and look at your notes, you're like, oh, Elmira did say that. Okay. Okay, next. The feeling is the secret. I actually took this title from a Neville Goddard book. Y'all, I don't know if you know of Neville Goddard, but he teaches about law of assumption, all of this. He's deceased, but his work lives on because it's our mind that's running the show. It's the subconscious mind that's running the show with this test. The feeling. What's your feeling? What are you saying about yourself when nobody is looking? Are you saying, oh, F it, I can't pass? Oh my goodness, I'm so stupid. And I'm saying this because this is stuff I've heard from students, because this is stuff they've heard from other people. I had one student, she broke down during our sessions because it was past stories from things they had told her in elementary school. You're not a good student. They was holding her back from recess and all of this. So it was playing out again on the MBLEX. Those feelings are deep within us. What have your parents said about your level of intelligence? What has maybe an ex said about your level of intelligence? What are the stories you're even telling yourself? Do you know how to relax? Do you sit down and simulate the tests weekly and daily, or are you rushed when you're doing your practice questions? You're like, oh, I got to get through it. 30 minutes. Ah, no, that's not the way you do it. You have to feel it. You have to connect with the information and pretend that every time you do a practice test, a quiz, it's the real deal. Because that's how we do everything else. Think about it. I'm taking myself back to when I was driving. I drove late, 24. Y'all may be like, you got your license at 24? I sure did, because I didn't want to drive because I had an older brother and an older sister to depend on. And then I went to college and I had friends to depend on. So I said, I don't need to drive. But soon as I started driving, it was the feeling. I really wanted it. I was motivated. I practiced driving. I got a driving instructor. I still remember the name of the school. It was called Friendly Driving School. And he was a stickler too. But it was the feeling. It was the practice he gave me. Getting on the interstate for the first time was scary. This test is scary because we need to keep practicing it. And now, who drives everywhere? I was living in Nashville at one time and driving 11 hours to get home often, every other month or once a month. Because once you do it, it clicks. But sometimes the feeling is telling us, I can't do it. It's too hard. I'm anxious. What other questions did I write down? What's your view of the test? When you see, if I was to type MBLEX on the screen, when you see that, does it seem like Friday the 13th, or does it seem like a birthday cake? I mean, you got to flip it. You got to make the test seem like something you're looking forward to. And it's growing into that too. It may not be that way at first. Because believe me, when I was driving, I didn't want to get behind that wheel. Oh, push the brake, stop, gas. Then I got to look at my blind spot. It's like I'm doing 10 things at once. This is scary. Oh my God. But you got to change your view of the test. And that's what I help that student who was being called stupid as a child. I was able to help her flip her own viewpoint within 6 weeks, and she passed. And this is what you can do too. That's why I'm giving these stories, because they're success stories. How do you feel about testing in general? Do you have a negative view of testing? Why are they testing me? Oh my gosh, why is this happening? Why is this, oh my goodness, another test? You can't dread it. You got to look forward to it. This test is my ticket to being an LMT. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to take the test. The things we say and the things we feel will lead to a pass, because you can flip it that quickly. And you might be like, oh, Elmira, you're dreaming. You're in a dream. That's what it takes. I went to see Michael, the Michael Jackson movie, the other week, and that's what he did. How do we think he became a star? He believed it first. I'm going to sing all over the world. Every star does this. No, whether it's a rock band, a pop band. I was playing Cyndi Lauper at the beginning. Cyndi Lauper did it too. You got to feel it even when other people around you say, Oh, look at you again. You failed it 3 times. You failed it 2 times. You're not even gonna, this might be your first time taking it. Oh, I heard it was so hard. You're not gonna do well. Don't let the naysayers try to sway you. You have the positive feeling within your heart. Next, how you do one thing is how you do everything. This is one of my statements because I know it's true. How you take this test is built on how you do everything in your life. Now, let me give you some examples because I'm going to read off some stuff because you may not have made the connection. You're like, I'm just trying to take the test. I want to take the test. I got to take the test. No, but do you do stuff hurried in a rush? Do you take your time? Do you easily lose attention? And I'm talking about, are you the TikTok scroll and you got to keep going? That's affecting you taking the test. How do you bake or do you cook? Or do you not bake or do you not cook because you're like, it takes too much time. I want a DoorDash. I'm like, I'm being serious. So how are you going to do the test if you're always trying to do everything quick, 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 quick? How do you work? Do you like to work long hours? Do you work at night? Do you work during the day? Do you work a split shift? Do you like independent contractor work? Do you only work best on weekends? Do you work in the morning? So, in looking at how you do one thing, you have to know, are you a morning person? If you're a morning person, why are you studying at night? If you're a weekend person, why are you studying every weekday? It don't make sense. Don't follow what everybody else says. Do it your way. And I'm going to talk more about that later. Oh, here's another thing. Do you always have a lot of people around? Because when you have other people around, are they motivating you or are they demotivating you? Because I've had those students too where I've had to coach them through, your friends and your family are not helping you pass this test. You always around them and they're not telling you to pass. They're not helping you to pass. That's affecting your studying. That's affecting your level of success. Are you stressed? Are you reactive? Or do when something bad happens, do you address it and say, okay, let me learn the lesson from that mistake? Are you a people pleaser? OMG, this used to be me. Because I was too focused on other people's goals and not my own. So there's been stuff in my life I couldn't do because I was saying, oh, I gotta make sure my mom is straight. I gotta make sure my boyfriend is straight. I gotta make sure my sister is straight. I gotta make sure the clients are straight. No, make sure you're good first. Did you get to your study? I gotta make sure my child is straight. Who has children in here? You can put in the chat, put a little heart or anything. But that's the big one I've heard from mothers that I teach. Oh my gosh, my kids got to do this. Are you controlled or controlling? Monitor your habits. Pay attention to what you do. Are you spending a lot of, I mentioned TikTok, but do you spend a lot of time on social media? Do you spend a lot of time with friends? Do you spend a lot of time with family? Do you eat bad and then you eat late at night and then you're tired in the morning and then you got to go to work and then you're figuring out why can't I study? Maybe because I've worked with ADHD students as well. There's a special thing you may have to do for your learning style. Could be connected to your diet, could be connected to all kinds of stuff. Are you following the protocol that's helping you succeed, or you not doing well at all? Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Do you overthink in everyday life and second guess yourself? Because you may be doing this and not paying attention. Oh, you knew it was going to be that turn of the road. You knew it was Maple Drive, but you second guess yourself. And now you driving 2 streets down and you're 15 miles out of the way because you didn't go with your first instinct. You knew you wasn't supposed to date that guy. Why you do it? Like, I'm just giving examples. How you do one thing is how you do everything. You knew you ain't supposed to go to that party. You knew that you should have ditched that friend before. but you overthought it and you second guess yourself. That means you're second guessing yourself on the test as well because you second guess yourself in life. Stop doing it. Go with your intuition. I know a lot of us as massage therapists are very intuitive. The test is intuitive as well. Yes, it's based on knowledge, but you got to use your right brain, more creative, and left brain, more logical, together to pass the test. We can't just look at one thing over the other. Um, Trying to see if there was anything. No, I don't think there's anything else I need to say about this. Okay, use what you know to help you with what you don't know. Here's what I mean by this. A lot of times, and you all can raise your hand or put it in the chat, have you seen a question and it's so long and with these crazy words, you're like, what the heck are they talking about? I don't even, right, I don't even know what they're saying. Believe you me, there's going to be at least one word in that question you know. What you do, you use that one word, maybe it's one word, two words, three words, to help you figure out what you don't know. And we're about to do, well, we have a practice example to do together. But the reason why this works is inevitably there's going to be something on this test because that's how the test is. We can't, there's no way you can prepare for all the types of questions you might have on test day. And the test isn't even set up that way anyway. It's a computer adaptive test. So the test is actually intuitive. It's reading you. The test is reading you like a social media algorithm. It literally is. If you go on the FSMTB site, it tells you this. So it knows if you tripped up on two kinesiology questions that have concentric in it, it's going to throw a third one in there to see if you have it. And the third one's going to be more confusing because they're trying to see, oh, does Elmira know concentric? Does Centrise know concentric? Does Ella know concentric? And then when you don't, they going to say, we're going to lower her kinesiology score. This is what it's doing. But when you can utilize this tip, use what you know to help with what you don't know, you can get those questions right every time. Let's look at the example, and I'm going to ask you all to do it with me. I'll read the question, and then you can either open up your mic or type in the chat what you know about this question. A client with osteoarthritis of the knee has hypertonic quadriceps. The massage therapist has also noticed the client can only move the knee to 100 degrees of flexion, with reports of an intense stretch felt in the quadriceps during this movement. What treatment would be the most effective for this client? What do we know in this question? It could be a word, it could be what are they asking, anything. What do we know?
Osteoarthritis is arthritis of the bones because it has osteo.
Very good. Anybody else know something? Anything you see? Let me know. I'm giving you time. Does everybody know what 100 degrees of flexion means?
I don't exactly know what like 100 degrees of flexion would look like, but I do know what flexion is. It'd be like a like forward motion flexing.
Mm-hmm. And 100 degrees, to elaborate on that, would be greater than 90 degrees because we know 90 degrees is a right angle. So if we're looking at our knee going forward, as you said, 100 degrees would be a little bit wider than that. So I'm moving it in the camera. So about like that. It's 10
Mm,
degrees wider than this.
okay.
And because 180 degrees is a straight line. Let me see what you're saying there in the chat. Uh, I don't think so. So that's okay. Tell me, do you know anything in this question? And it's okay to not know, but ask yourself, what do I know? What do you know in this question? Because I know everybody in the room today and everybody watching the replay knows something in this question. What do you know? And I will wait because I'm a teacher who likes to allow you to come up with the answer. Because one of the things I've discovered too with students is when you are consistently fed the answers, you don't really understand it for yourself and in your own way. So it actually deters you from passing. Anybody else have something they want to share about something you know in this question? A word. It could be as simple as, I know where the knee is. Does everybody know where the knee is? Yes. See? So you do know. So we know which area of the body we're speaking of. So we're already halfway there because if we know where the knee is, we already know we're not speaking of the elbow. I'm not speaking of the neck because as a massage therapist, there are some limitations to the knee, correct? There's some things the knee can do that the ankle can't do. There's some things your shoulder can do that your knee can't do. There's some things your hips can do that your shoulder can't do, right? So let's identify, because we identified what we do know. What don't we know? We did say one thing, and we did clarify it, the 100 degrees. What else don't we know in this question? That looks foreign. That's like, what the heck are they talking about? What don't we know? Anybody?
I'm forgetting what hypertonic means. Is hypertonic like when the muscle is almost like kind of stuck, like frozen almost?
Yes, because what does
Oh, sorry.
hyper mean?
Means like too much of something, like
Yes. And what does tonic mean? Because we always break down the word.
tonic is I know it means like something is like stuck, like it like in a way, like something's like I'm forgetting exactly what it means though.
Well, I'll tell you because a lot of times on this test, it just goes to look at the word and see what the word looks like. Tonic looks like tone,
Mm. Mm.
hypertone. So, what this is saying is too much tone in the muscle. Tonic, tone.
Gotcha.
A lot of this test is breaking it down like elementary, going back to kindergarten, like saying, as if I was sitting there with my kindergarten teacher, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. What is this word? When I break down this compound word, what is it? Hypertonic. You said it. We all said it. Osteoarthritis. Quadriceps. It's telling us what the words are so we can start to figure out what they mean when we break down the words. Medical terms are important for that reason because it's helping you break down the words.
Hmm.
The best way to do anything, because it's just like a meal. If I was preparing a meal, let's say I want to make fish. I like fish. I'm going to make fish, rice, and broccoli. I break it down. I don't put it all in the same pot. I make my fish, I make my rice, and I make my broccoli. The same thing we do with the questions. Break it apart. Stop trying to eat the whole meal at one time. That's why it's overwhelming. Look at one sentence at a time. Client osteoarthritis, hypertonic quadriceps. Next sentence is talking about 100 degrees of flexion. Next sentence, which is the final question, what treatment would be most effective for this client? So you see, it's going to ask you, you already know based on the question what your answer should be. If the answer said hydrotherapy with peanut butter, you know that's not even the right answer, so cancel it out. Most of the questions are going to have a distractor on it. I'm just telling you that up front. If anybody hasn't told you, they're going to put some answer that is totally off, where it'll say something like, which is a system in the body? And then one of the answer choices, the angel system. You know that's not a body system, so cancel it out. We don't have no angel system. We might have one spiritually, but that's not. Always look for the distractor. Okay, we're going to answer this question because we have to. One way to test take is to look for the things that don't make sense or that are different. In these answer choices, what do you notice is different? There's one answer choice that stands out by how it reads right before the comma.
One has percussion and all the other ones have shaking.
That's a good point. So we got one with percussion, others have shaking, so we can eliminate D. There's something else. There's another thing that's different too. Does anybody see how it's different in the first portion of the answer before the comma?
Oh, one says hamstrings, the rest of them say quadriceps.
Correct. Does everybody else see that? Does everybody see where this says contract relax technique for hamstrings? This one says percussion. So we already eliminated B and D, which means we're narrowing it down to A and B, A and C, which talk specifically about the quadriceps. And why are these the best answer? Because it asked about the quadriceps. It said the quadriceps are tight, hypertonic. So we know I'm going to be working the quadriceps, not the quadriceps and the hamstrings. I'm only going to be working the quadriceps. Based on this and what I just said, would A or C be the best answer choice? Because we said the answer is to work the quadriceps only. Santrice, I see you have your mic
A.
open. You said what?
Oh, no.
No, say that again.
The answer?
Yeah, I thought you said the answer, which was right.
A.
Yes, were you second guessing yourself?
I did.
Girl, you know that. Why you questioning yourself?
But the process of elimination
Uh-huh.
helped a lot.
Oh, how did it help?
It helped a lot. So
But how did it help you? Explain.
I've never that looked at it the way they broke it down. So
Oh,
I've been doing a couple practice tests and I realized I've been getting the same AMP questions wrong. And I know I get them right. And again, I'm second guessing myself. I'm like, I would say it in my head that the answer is D, but I would still choose the letter A. And then once it shows that I got the letter A wrong, and I said, "Oh, I said it was D, but I still chose a different letter," because again, I was second guessing myself. But that's what I
Mm.
need to break out of the habit.
Do you find you second guess
Yeah.
yourself on other stuff where you say one thing in your head, but then you do another in real life?
Yes.
So fix that, and you can start tonight and tomorrow. That's why this class is here. Start analyzing. Okay, why did I say that and do something different? Notice the error and just fix it. Yeah. So this was a good answer. A good
And,
y'all did well.
and I think it's like a fact that usually your first the first answer that you're drawn to is usually right on
Yeah,
tests.
I noticed that too. But I still
Mm-hmm.
end up with the wrong answer. I always
Yep.
That first answer always is right, but I always end up choosing something different, second guessing myself, and like I got out of that because that's what's taking me so long to move forward.
Yeah.
Yes. I struggle with that too.
Yeah. You just practice, practice, practice. Understand your way, your strengths. What's your way of learning? Are you auditory? Are you visual? I've actually been working with Ella one on one. She likes to draw, so we've been drawing. She likes plants. We've been using the plants. You see, so you got to find your way. What are your strengths? Do you like music? I have some students who love music, so we listen to songs. It's depending on what's your strength. Are you that person who can sit down and read and study all day? Do it. Here are my flashcards. I've had some students who don't like the flashcards. Stop doing stuff that does not work for you. I have to stress that. If it's not working, why are you doing it? Do it your way. Oh, the teacher said, oh, the MBLEX guide said. No, what does your guide say? You got to do it your way. I am so big on that because that's how you're going to pass. There's multiple ways to pass this test. There's not one way. And if anybody tells you it's one way, they're lying. Oh, you got to do this. You got to study this. No, you don't. Don't you got it? I had a student who recently passed, and because her way was ease and flow, she got it easy. No over explaining, no over studying, and she passed. Because just her way of being was so just ease and flow. If she was going to try to stress herself out, it wasn't going to work. OCD method. This is my personal method for everything, for testing, and I call it OCD because it's order, consistency, discipline. Let me tell you what this means because you use it for your studying. Order. You have to have an order of how you study. Do you do this first? Do you do this second? Do you do it on a certain day? Mondays always work for me, or whatever it is for you. Saturdays work for me. I got to do it at night. I got to study after I eat. I got to grab my cup of coffee, then study. I got to study before the kids wake up. That's order. How do you do your stuff? I got to do it when I'm off work. Order. What's the order? Because we already do stuff in the order. We just don't analyze it. We don't pay attention to our habits. We do it with our brushing our teeth, our using the bathroom in the morning, the putting on your clothes. So study it and do it with your studying. How do you do it? How you do one thing is how you do everything. Do you put your glasses on first or do you not? I'm just speaking to myself. I mean, do you do your makeup first or do you do your hair? This is the same thing with the studying. You got to outline an order. C for consistency. How often are you going to study? And I always tell my students, do not overstudy because you might think, oh, I'm going to study 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. That's overkill. Are you going to pick a certain day to study? You know, Thursdays are your best day. You know, Friday, you're going to do Tuesday and Friday. Be consistent with it every week. Don't do Tuesday, Friday one week, then the next way is Wednesday and Saturday. you're not going to remember nothing because you're not being consistent. Think about your work schedule. Think about everything else you do. You're consistent with it, so you must be consistent with your studying to pass this test. And then discipline. This is what discipline is about. Holding yourself accountable, or having somebody like me to hold you accountable for your work, for your progress. And when people hear discipline, sometimes we think, oh my gosh, it's such a freaky word. But discipline all is all about celebration too. Because the reason we celebrate stuff like passing the test, we celebrate our birthday, I celebrate a work accomplishment, I celebrate a wedding, is because we stayed for the long haul to do it. Because you were disciplined enough to show up for yourself. You were disciplined enough to do 2, 3 practice tests a week. And then once the test came, you passed. Relax, reset, retake. This is all in the OCD method. Relax, reset your body, reset your thoughts around any of this, just like we discovered. Never did the like the process of elimination before. That's a new discovery. Reset. You may see something, hear something, notice something anywhere else about this test or just about testing. Reset what you think you know or what you've been doing, and then you retake. Never retake without resetting. Because some of us will retake, oh, that my time is up. Like I've met the 30 days or the 60 days where I can retake it. But you're not doing anything different. No, you got to reset. You got to rewire your brain. You got to rewire your habits. You got to do something different. Maybe you haven't hired a tutor in the past, but now you want to. That's why I'm here. Resources. There are tons of resources based on how you learn. Podcasts. I'm just going to name some stuff. Amoeba Sisters, MBLEX Guide, the David Merlino app, AMTA app, ABMP app. You got Mometrics. It's so many tools out there these days. Trail guides. Do what works for you. I made a video today for auditory learners. A resource is your own voice. Get on your phone. Everybody's got a phone. Record some muscle names or stuff in your own voice and you listen to it. And I'll give you a little tip. The way you ingrain stuff into your brain and really remember it is to listen to it right before you go to bed and first thing when you wake up in the morning, because that's when your subconscious mind is open. So put something in your own voice. It could be something short, 2 minutes. It could be something longer. You could fall asleep to your own voice saying muscles, saying pathology names, reading off medical terms. I don't know. It could be anything. Make it fun. That's why this should not be hard. Going back to what I said, the feeling is the secret. If you treat it like a chore, like when I was growing up, I hated washing the dishes. I remember crying when my mom said wash the dishes because I saw it as a chore. Now I see it as luxury. Oh, we get to have clean dishes. I would put the bubbles in the sink and all that because I'm treating it as fun. Treat the test as a fun experience. Okay, I actually got something coming up and I'll put all the links in the chat for you. I am teaching a weekend study boot camp next weekend on the 23rd and the 24th. It's a 2-day intensive. We'll be going over questions like we did. Notice here, visual learning strategies, simplified body systems and pathology, test taking strategies. We'll do practice questions and I'll be handing out cheat sheets and stuff. Confidence supports and a mindset. It's a group session just like this. You can ask questions, bring your books, all of that. We're doing it Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. There will be a little short break each day, but it's 4 hours each day. You want to translate for your time zone because I know everybody is not on Eastern time, but again, next weekend you can get in the boot camp. This is 2 days of you really getting in there and learning, getting in there with other people and with my guidance to assist you. What else? Okay, I also have, if you don't want to do the boot camp, you can sign up for tutoring packages with me. 4 sessions, which would be a month, is 555. 8 sessions, 2 months is 997, and then 12 sessions, which is a total of 3 months. We do once a week. We would meet is 1997. Again, I'll put the links in the chat and going over just some testimonials. Once again, Elmira is awesome. This session was super informative, but also healing and inspirational for me in certain ways. This was Shelby earlier this year. She passed. She really does great at comparing real life situations, making it easy to remember the material. Alexandra, this is something she said last year. What else? Oh, I wanted to let you know that I passed. Thank you for helping me see that this is so easy. Just last month, Kenzie, she passed. This is from Jonathan. Elmira helped me overcome fears and dedicate the necessary time to studying. That tip about making my own audio files was a game changer. Jonathan was in his 40s because his family was telling him, oh, you can't do it. You don't have a degree like us. And he did it. Last year, he passed. He's a success now, working as a massage therapist, running his business. Let me share the links, and this time is also for if anybody has questions or something I said today didn't make much sense, or it did make sense and you're like, I never heard it that way. You can let me know as well. Because that's why I'm here. I'm here to make you see your difference, see your unique qualities, because that's what we are as massage therapists. We're not cookie cutter. No massage is the same because we're all about the touch. We're all about the feeling. Any questions or something somebody might want to add?
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Um, Willing to definitely set up the tutoring package.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you have payment plans available
Yes, because when you
for your
go to the, yeah, when you go to the link, it's got it where you can do a firm or you can set it up where you can, or if that doesn't work, contact me and just say, okay, that doesn't work on there for me. Let me know what you're thinking about. And yeah, we can talk about it. But yes, on the link, there are payment options. Does that work for you? Okay. Any other questions, comments?
my connection dropped. I had
Oh,
an yeah, but in regards to the boot camp,
mhm.
will you be hosting a boot camp outside of next weekend?
Possibly, but I don't know. I'm not going to
Okay.
commit. I'm going to tell you the truth about me. Like I said, we do stuff our way. Elmira does stuff when I have energy and time. So I'm not this person who's going to say, oh, once a month we're going to do this. No, because it doesn't work with my energy. Like I'm a person who is very stingy or very aware of my energy, so I'm not going to just willingly give it away.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Understood.
yeah, so if you want to
I
do
don't
it, because
because
there will be replays too. So if you're thinking, oh, I
oh,
can't make one day or I can only make 2 hours, get there because you'll still have the replay.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So as long as I can have the replay, that should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I only asked because my daughter's graduating,
Oh,
and they have a next Friday they're graduating, and then that next day on Saturday they're going to SeaWorld for the weekend.
nice.
So gone
Okay.
this weekend. So.
That sounds fun.
But yeah, but like you said, there'll be a replay. So as long as I can do the replay, that should be fine as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's replays of both days
Yeah.
because this is unique. This is, I'm the best. I'm just gonna call it and say it. And somebody else may be like, "Oh, you're being bragging, you're arrogant." I know. I've had the proof. So, yeah. Um, anything else? Because if not, we'll close out. Okay, it was a
Okay.
pleasure,
Thank
everybody.
you.
You're welcome. I will see some of you in the boot camp. I will see others of you in the one-on-one tutoring, and I also shared my YouTube link. I do share tips on the YouTube page as well. You can go on there, scroll down, and check out everything that I'm sharing there. All right, y'all have a fantastic night, okay?
Thank you.
Bye.
Same to
You're
you.
welcome.